Hey guys, welcome back to another video. On this episode, we're going to be putting the subframe back into our E36 drift car, and then we're going to be taking it for a drift to see if all this work that we've put in actually makes a difference and helps with how the car feels. Fingers crossed it does. I'm pretty sure it will. Plan of attack is going to be to get the fuel tank in the car first, get all that ready to go, and then we'll slowly put all the different components like subframe, trailing arms, control arms, all that jazz, slowly back into the car, into their spot. We have the car booked in to get another wheel alignment in less than a day. So we're gonna have to really work hard and smash this out. But yeah, enough chit chat, let's get into it. Fuel tank, filler neck, all that jazz is now in. If that looked like it took a while, that's because it did. It was really hard to get all the hoses and stuff lined up and get the fuel tank in the right spot. Also, something to quickly note is with the subframe reinforcement plates, they will slightly move the subframe down. So something good with the CMP subframe bushings as well is there's actually quite a low clearance here. You can see there's not really much clearance there. That's because they move the subframe up, so the body would sit here. So basically that will counteract any of the negative effects that happens with the plates, as well as it gives you a higher subframe location compared to stock, which does correct a lot of the geometry, especially when you're lowering the cars. Just a reminder as well, make sure you use code JPBuilds on checkout, one word, to save yourself 10% off if you are picking up anything from CMP. It's much appreciated. We're just gonna move on to getting the subframe in and start chucking all the rear end components in. Okay, so control arms are in. We had a little bit of trouble. This pocket here where the arm attaches to looks like it got damaged a little bit. So I had to just slowly massage it out. So we're just about to put the control arms in. I've just added the control arm brackets. So these are the prototype brackets from CMP. So they will allow us to move the pivot point where the trailing arm is mounted to higher up in the car, which will correct a lot of the geometry and add a little bit of anti-squat, which is really good for us drifting. So yeah, super happy with these. Basically, the arm now can articulate as much as it like, as well as when you're tightening this bolt. Usually you'd have to preload it to get the arm that's in the correct position, but obviously with the ball joint it can move freely, so no preloading necessary, just chuck it on and bolt the arm up. So super easy then having to do that. Alright, so all the rear suspension's now in. We've got the trailing arms in. We've got everything torqued up except these axle nuts. And we're just going to go in and chuck in the sway bar. Another thing that we've replaced is these end links are all new because they've got rubber bushings in them. And then also the actual sway bar bushing. So they go sit there. They're all brand new rubber. So yeah, we'll just go and chuck the sway bar in now. So I'm not going to bore you the rest, but we're pretty much almost at the point where the car's done. We've got the axles are done, the sway bar's done, we've got the exhaust there. We just haven't attached it to the headers. I've got to lift the front of the car to do that.
2 hours later.
Apologies, it's been a little while since you've last seen me. We were rushing to get the car done for the wheel arm because we took it for a test drive and we found out there was a little bit of a noise coming from the rear end. Couldn't work out what it was. I checked everything that we took apart and it actually was a loose coilover. So we didn't touch the struts, but somehow they got loose. But yeah, so managed to fix that up, get the wheel alignment. So she's looking good. We've got about -7 degrees of camber in the front, 0 degrees of camber in the rear now, which is perfect. Hopefully that'll allow us to go through less tires. We've got 1 mil total toe in on the rear and 5 mil total toe out on the front. So that should give us best of both worlds. So yeah, really keen to see how the car performs. We've basically got brand new OEM rubber where necessary, and we've also gone with solid bushings where we can. But yeah, super keen to see how the car rips. We'll see you at the track. So we just made it to the track now. Super keen to see how the rear end feels. We've just unpacked the car, done the briefing, all that jazz, so we're all good to go. But yeah, let's get it. Well, that was fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my handbrake's just not working.
Not working.
Like, it was just not doing anything.
Unfortunately, my victory was short-lived as I started to notice a clunking coming from the rear of the car. Listen closely to this next clip.
Yeah, I can't do it there. Do you notice the noise in the rear?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
So we just have a bit of an issue. We're feeling a little bit of a clunk in the car. Actually, as it turns out, the welds on our trailing arm brackets have failed. So the arm is literally just flopping about. That's my bad. Obviously, we didn't really weld these up correctly. So here's what it is. Learn from mistakes. Luckily, we bought stock replacement brackets for now. So we'll just chuck those on and we'll get back out on track. So yeah.
Our trackside fix seemed to help, but the car was still making clunking noise, and the car started to feel strange. It felt difficult to hold drifts to the left, but easy to over-rotate and spin out when drifting to the right.
It definitely wants to spin out more that way. So it definitely, something must be f***ed on that side.
It's just when you flick.
Oh, there.
And then it didn't do it there.
Feeling like there was nothing more we could do at the track, we decided to pack it up and call it a day. Little did we know, our luck was about to get much worse.
Well, it turns out tonight was just not my night. Yeah, stranded on the side of the highway. I believe it's CAS or crank angle or cam angle sensor related, and I cannot be bothered to diagnose it on the side of the highway when I don't even have a spare crank angle sensor or cam angle sensor. So we're just gonna get this home. We're about 40 minutes from home, so it's a little bit expensive. So it is what it is. Make sure you like, sub, all that great stuff so I can afford this expensive as f tow. And we'll catch you on the next one when we get this car hopefully all sorted and dialed for the next event. Peace. I hate this car. Just kidding, of course I'm going to end the video on a good note. So we've managed to re-look into the subframe, we've dropped the subframe, re-welded a bunch of stuff, made sure that everything was all good, and now she's all back together and ready for another drift event today. So super keen to see how it goes. I also have a nice little Christmas surprise for you guys. So let's get into it.
Back home now, had a blast at the event. It was super fun, basically tandeeming with Pilchi all night. So it was really awesome. The car feels amazing. So happy that we did it. It was a lot of work, but we got there in the end. Just wanted to also jump on and wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year for 2025. Thank you all so much for an amazing year, and here's to making 2025 an even better one. We'll see you then. Peace!